Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is in your world. Felt like going live for the hell of it, and shits and giggles. Yeah, my computer's melting down. It sounds like it's on overdrive. Hey, Miss Joe. Oops, sorry about that. How you doing today, there, Miss Joe? Oops, excuse me. Beautiful Miss Rebecca. Yeah, did you guys hear that they're doing a campaign to get rid of furry off of YouTube? Let me share the screen. Windy oh. Let me share the screen for you guys so you can see it. A petition, it looks like. Hey, don't sugarcoat it. Oh. If anybody feels like coming up, there's a panel link up top. You can just click on that. So they want your location. Kind of creepy. Well, anywho, I'll stop sharing that. She does, or she needs to be arrested for terrorist acts against Islam, or not Islam, Jewish. Sitting there terrorizing those poor guys. Sorry, traffic was coming by, driving me nuts. I was hoping AK and Rebecca would come up here. Hey, Ricky G. How you doing, sir or ma'am? Looks like Andrew's going live in a couple hours. That's AK.
What's up, Odin?
Not much. Just felt like going live for the hell of it. So how's it your part of the world?
It's cold.
Still?
Just this morning, it froze last night, so it's kind of cold.
Damn. So it finally warming up, or is it still Siberian cold?
Almost all the snow is gone. I have just a little bit left, which is, where I kind of like stacked it up from shoveling off at different places.
Oh, yeah. Well, you could let your kids play in it. The snow.
No.
Why no?
Because it's
It's just snow.
yeah, but at this point, there's like all the gunk and crap from it all like melting throughout the days, so it's not snow. It's like dirty snow.
Did you pee in the dirty snow?
No. I don't have a wiener. It's not that easy for me to just like pee somewhere.
No, you probably squatted and wrote your name in the snow.
No, my luck. I'd fucking fall over.
Have a frozen vajayjay.
That sounds like the shit of nightmares.
Well, that's what you have a husband for. He can, help warm me back up. Sorry about that.
All right. You're good. I gotta warm up a cup of coffee.
Good. That's what I'm drinking right now. So, hey, did you fill out that petition? If you're still there.
Yes.
Oh, you did fill it out?
Yeah. I mean, I just don't believe in what she's doing.
Oh, that turned you down. I don't either. Is she using her First Amendment rights? Unfortunately, we've got to say yes. But is she harassing people with her First Amendment right?
Not when you're inciting fear. I mean, I get it. Okay, so here's the caveat to that, right? Like, she could, in a sense, be afraid for whatever reason. They're coming too close to her, whatever. But at the same point, what she's doing is purposely trying to incite fear. That is illegal. As far as I know. I mean, I could be completely wrong. From what I know, at least here in my state, it is illegal to do such things.
Yeah, you would have to go by state on how they consume what harassment is and all that shit. And some states are more lenient than the others. And then you got liberal California. Yeah, Lavender Mexican did a new video.
Oh, I missed it. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't missed it. I just haven't seen it yet. That was a return.
I can put it up.
Eat it. Don't throw it on the floor. Please.
Hey, Sergeant Shadow. I'm smoking a cigarette in a pipe. Good morning, Bama Green Eyes.
You're smoking a cigarette in a pipe. Is that what you just said?
Yeah. Pipe tobacco. I'm an old man. What can I say? Hey, Tony the Tyrant. I'm an old man. Some people say I'm in my 50s. They just can't do the math well. Tony said hi to you, AK.
Hi, Tony.
And Bama Green Eyes is in here. Uh-oh, we got two grandmas in here. We better be careful.
You know what? Those women give me some of the best advice on what to do with my kids.
Yeah. Only if us younger people, would learn to listen to the older, wiser people, the world would be a lot better place. They've been there, they've done that. You know?
Yeah, but here's the deal. Until you're actually at the age of you can understand that maybe your parents weren't wrong, maybe that they were right. The whole I swear to God, every day I hear my mom coming out of my mouth. I'm like, oh, I swear I'd never do that. That's a lie. I definitely am exactly like my mom, and I now understand why she was the way she was.
Yeah. Here, I'll play Lavender's video. Hope she doesn't mind.
Here.
If she does, she can copyright strike me.
Look at that. A double, a twofer right here. I didn't even know. And we're with CPR artists in the house. Go give a like, share, subscribe to CPR artists. Tell me boy, Fake Michael sent you. Fake Mike.
God, this guy gives me a headache every time he talks. Fucking pit squeak voice.
Is that Omaha?
No, it's fucking man with fake Mike.
Inquired.
Legit man.
No.
Elselmo or some shit like that.
Oh, Anselmo.
I think. Let me read. Fake man, real Mike. Fake Mike, real news. Oh. Yeah, everybody please go check out Lavender's videos. There's a link to that video. That's the way it's set up, Miss Joe. I'm sorry. See if I can slow it down to normal speed for you.
Till now, till walking. So there's no Second Amendment here. Only the cops. You can't have the
He sounds drunk.
cops, Cam. And I'm not taking no elevators while I'm here. And I know it's not always proper English. I don't know. I was just gonna walk around.
Why would you want to carry a firearm in a police station?
Surprise! Musty in here. Looks musty in here.
Looks musty in here. What? Fucking
I thought musty was a smell.
Yeah,
So did I.
Public records requests like to see the last 10 internal affairs investigations from Milwaukee PD. Be interesting to see.
See if he gets in an argument with a freaking lap
Just take a walk around.
machine.
No.
Why can't
No.
Okay.
Could you imagine Lavender following some of these people and going, no.
No, you can't. You have to have business.
Yeah, but it
Well, I'm trying
wouldn't
to
be
do a
with
public
a
records request.
newspaper. It'd probably be a baseball bat. No.
North 49 from Lisbon.
What about the chief of police?
You
I'd like to meet with him.
would have to call and make an appointment.
Is this coronavirus or is this typical?
Always. Any place.
Policy.
Well, actually, I've traveled the entire country.
Well, that's good.
Well, you can be sarcastic with me. Your job is to be
Okay,
polite
but
and
just because
courteous.
it's not policy in one area does not mean
I've
it's not
actually known
policy in
several
another.
police chiefs, and they've come out and spoken to me several times. So I think the proper power dynamic should be public servants work for their citizens, and there are two things. You have to be. Is something funny, man?
God, this guy is a fucking
What's funny?
retard.
Guy.
You're a douche, you're a douche, you're a big fizzy douche.
Because constitutional and protected rights.
I'm listening to you.
Okay, well, she's
She's not
big.
laughing.
She's laughing. She's smiling. What's funny?
Excuse me for a
This
second.
is my face,
Excuse-
sir.
Okay.
And if you
He's
don't
giving
like
you
it,
a
you can
positive
leave, okay?
face.
Damn.
I know, and I can also stay.
No, you're insinuating stuff.
Well, she's.
You're-
I haven't got a chance to talk. I let you talk.
You've been talking.
Got him!
You can call and make an appointment to see our chief.
And I'd also like to see the museum.
What?
The museum. I'd like to take a look at the museum.
There is no museum here. Says right here, Milwaukee Public Museum. That's down the street. That's not connected with us. That's on the corner. You just go out, straight down.
Damn.
Thank you. We'll probably check that out.
They own him like a boss.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I just wanted to let you folks know a couple things, right? Men, women, and children have given blood, sweat, and tears for the U.S. Constitution during coronavirus. We had selective businesses shut down. That wasn't
Hey,
right.
Ranger
We had
Horse.
curfews shut down. The Second Amendment is not allowed in this building. The Fourth Amendment is not allowed in this building. And also, the last thing I'll say to you is the thin blue line is against flag code, and it's desecration of the flag.
Stop it. Stop it. And I say stop it.
Look at the United States flag. When you wear a thin blue line like this woman has on her badge and on her thing, the blue line is against the flag code. You can Google it. It's considered desecration. Yeah, it's considered. I'm just letting. And I appreciate you talking to me. That's all I had to say. But I just wanted. I got a little upset
Come on
when
up,
someone laughed
Ranger
at me.
Horse.
It's like Marty McFly in Back to the Future. That's true, and I'm pretty good at reading people, and I study. I'm a amateur psychology student.
You serious?
And, but I could be wrong, and I could be wrong. So thank you for being cordial with me, sir. Likewise.
Immature part's right.
So let's see if we can go up
College student.
on the elevator.
I thought he said he wasn't going to take the elevators while he was there. Hey, Bird.
You gonna tell me the same thing over there?
Hey, Odin, how you doing?
Oh, it's only down.
Doing good.
Hey, Kay.
Hi, Bird.
Damn, man, this is such a cool building. It has an intelligence fusion center. That could be Homeland Security. That could be
Center.
FBI.
Bird, I got a question. Okay, stop this for a second.
Oh no, let's not stop the progress.
No.
of-
Hold on. No. We're going back to the video. I don't want to talk about drama. I'm not into the drama. No, I'm talking about the actual fucking things.
Okay.
I'm not interested. I'm really not. Everybody knows I try to be friends with all. I'm not interested in that shit. I'm serious. How do you feel though if you feel okay, I'm going to use Furry as the example. Okay, Furry Potato.
Okay.
I feel that sometimes in the situation she's in, that she in a sense is inciting fear.
Interesting. That she by her filming incites fear.
Not her filming, but her actions and the way that she communicates with people.
Oh, that's funny. So that would be kind of like Shiva threatening to expose my family with receipts.
Whoa. We said no drama. We're talking like
No. We're not talking about drama. We're talking about inciting fear, right? Like that's what something like that would be intended to do. However, here's the funny thing: it doesn't So if it doesn't incite fear, right, then is it really an issue, right? I'll tell you this much. With Shiva, I'm excited for it, man. I think that this is going to be great. Like, I can't wait till, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is pretty awesome. Like, give me the attention, buddy. I don't mind. There's nothing that me and my family do that I'm scared of talking about.
What I'm saying is that these people over at mosques and different things, and you know what I mean, like, they already have a hard time. Okay, let's just be blunt. Let's just be clear about that. They do. In some senses, they do. Maybe not what it used to be, but in some areas, maybe it's worse.
So we are talking about filming then.
I don't really even care about the filming part. If I honestly saw this person come up to my church, right? No camera, no nothing, right? And just dressed like she is and acting the way she is, I would be afraid. I'd be like, well, I don't want that person anywhere near my kids. What are they doing?
Then you haven't been learning anything at church if that's the case.
No, I just wouldn't want them around my kids as a safety precaution to my children who cannot protect themselves. I am their protector.
Absolutely. So I wouldn't let my kids go out and play with that individual. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I even say, you know, kids, why don't you go inside and hang out with Pastor fucking, you know, Ted and his wife. You know what I mean? Like, but here's the thing. If I seen Furry Potato walking up on my church, okay, and it seemed to be awkward, out of place, say it even appeared to be malicious and dangerous, I would not approach Furry Potato with aggression and or fear for two reasons. One, I don't believe that you should allow fear to ever dictate your actions. Then that's just my personal experiences and my personal opinion. You know what I mean? And I find that most of the time that you're presented with fear, you're presented with an opportunity to not just overcome that fear, but to ultimately smack it the fuck down. Okay. So if it was me, and this is me, and I've done this before, right, where shit's looking all fucked up, I would address it. If it escalated and Furry got all crazy, well, then, you know, it gets handled. You know what I mean? But I think that my first response would be, have you heard about the Lord? Would you like to come join us inside? You know, would you like to know a little bit more about what we do here at this church?
Yes, as an adult, yes. But,
you know, I mean,
but you have to think of how she acts, right? Okay, I'm being just blatantly clear here. She doesn't. No. Even if I were somebody nice like me, okay, and I'm just being honest here, like me, you know, people are like, oh, you have a nice smile. I go up to her with a nice smile. I'm like, hey, ma'am, how are you today? Would you like to come in? Say we're having a potluck or something. Would you like to join our potluck? And she fucking pepper sprays me.
She wouldn't just pepper spray you for not doing anything. But just
because the others around me are agitating it, I get pepper sprayed.
Okay, well, then you need to look at the actions of those that you surround yourself with. And I would say also, you know, people, if a situation's escalating between others, okay, that's a bad time to intervene, right? So if I was at church and Furry was, say, having it out with someone in the parking lot, okay, I might observe. I might ensure people's safety, but the one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to go interject myself in between the feud between those two people. You know what I mean? I'll recommend that whoever's involved with the feud, you know, just goes back inside or leaves it alone. If Furry turned around and started macing people, you know, I might or might not dispatch my firearm depending on the circumstances. You know, so, you know, take it in for what it is. When you start bringing weapons to the word fight, you know, things escalate and they can escalate quick, but never respond in fear, in my opinion, right? Like, not even when you pull the firearm, you shouldn't be responding in fear, you know, in my personal opinion, even though everybody's like, but if you're not in fear for your life, you shouldn't be pulling it. Well, now I'm on some, even if you're in fear for your life, you shouldn't be responding to the fear, right? You should be responding to the threat. It's a difference. Splitting hairs. If they're innocent bystanders and effect unlawful, the Fury would have to face. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's good. You're a mom, dude. I expect it.
I'm trying to outside, and he's not happy because he's like, no boots, Mom. No boots. Why do I need to have these things?
Hey, that's funny. My kid don't like boots either, dude. She always takes them off.
I know, socks too. It's like, oh no.
Oh, she'll keep
Socks are not
socks
our
on
gig.
now. Yeah, so it was it was a while before I could keep her to get have her keep her socks on, dude, because she used to take those off too. But you let him run around barefoot for the first fucking year of his life, obviously.
Well, my twins were so small, if you remember.
Yeah, no, I did the same thing. I did the same thing.
So
but I
it was
think
like finding socks that fit their little feet was the
is
most
impossible.
ridiculous. Like, you guys are
almost
liars. These are not 0 to 3 months. These are like huge.
Exactly.
Yeah, get your boot in. There we go. We're gonna put your boot on, and then you can go play. I have no problem with that today. It's beautiful. Yep, I'll help you. Oh.
It's awesome, huh? It's like
I do enjoy this conversation. I'm very much into it, and I believe I'm with you. I am completely with you. If you are scared, you shouldn't be pulling your weapon, because you're more likely to make a mistake, right?
Well, I mean, so you can be scared of something, but you can choose not to. You can choose not to react to the fear, right? Now, if a threat's presented, mind you, like, you are scared of a threat, right? But that's not what you should be responding to. You should be responding to the physical threat and the action, not the emotion.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just being completely honest here, I have a taser and I have a gun. I am more likely to go with my taser than I am my gun when it comes to a human being.
Well, yeah,
my taser also has a clip on it that if it's a little wristband thing.
It disconnects, yeah.
Yep, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, that way if he pulls it out of your hand, all of a sudden he can't use it against you.
Exactly.
Well, I say he because usually women get attacked by men, believe it or not, statistically.
Yeah, statistics show that is the truth. Domestic violence is a real thing, and just violence in general is a thing. As humans, we get angry, we make rash decisions sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that it is of furries' right to video, right? That's not what I have a problem with.
You don't like the baiting and the cause of
distress to the general public. I don't think that is beneficial. I think there is a much better way that we could have a good conversation going, and we could be talking about, why I'm really doing this. Let me tell you why I'm really doing this.
I don't disagree with that, but I also take a little bit different of a stance, and the reason why is because true freedom is dangerous. Okay, allowing people to have freedom of choice is very dangerous, right? But yet God still gave us free will, and that free will still hasn't been restricted by man. I can either do what I want to do for good, or I can do what I want to do for bad. I think it really breaks down to, you have to accept some bad things in life in order to maintain the good ones. It's not an easy situation to fucking, deal with, but the fact of the matter is that if you force people into obedience no matter what before they get a chance to make the decision on their own, then you're ultimately fucking restricting someone's ability to think and or act on their own ability. And that's why things are set up the way they are. You're innocent until proven guilty. Why? Especially if you've just committed a crime, how are you still innocent until proven, guilty if you have committed the crime? Well, the reason why is because you have to assess free will. You have to assess it situation by situation, and you ultimately have to, give someone the opportunity to fuck up before you charge them and or bring upon consequences.
Hey, Trump says,
I could walk down the street with my AR strapped to my back, or even in front of me if I wanted to, right? And that would probably instill fear in a lot of people. But if my intent is just to go out and express my constitutional right to, bear my firearms, am I responsible for the fact that those people have ultimately been intimidated by their own feelings? You know what I mean? Or am I out there pointing my gun at people and creating some type of issue? So, you have to look at it for what it is. The CDC and Officer Snyder made comments in court. Oh, well, he had a camera in his hand and, was highly suspicious of possibly being a terrorist. That's fucking hilarious. So what you're saying is that your fears that I'm a terrorist because I have a camera supersede my right to have a camera and film. That doesn't make sense. Not to me, not to fucking the courts, not to anybody else, right? Now, if I'm out there with a camera and I start screaming, I'm going to film me fucking your shit up and I'm going to break your cars. Okay, well, now we're fucking making terroristic threats, right? So now all of a sudden there's a crime. Now there's all of a sudden a reason to, react. There's a threat of some sort. So you don't respond to the emotion, you respond to the threat.
I just feel that, and these are my feelings, okay? So they're just that. They're not, I just feel sometimes she completely goes in with the intent of inciting fear, which, okay, cool. In one sense of like, okay, I'm gonna get a video clip that it may go viral and all this different thing. But to me, I don't enjoy watching other people be in fear.
Well, and that's your discernment though, right? So your discernment says that, okay, so even though, there's dangerous freedom and you're standing on that dangerous freedom, ultimately you're utilizing it to, try to scare and threaten others, right? So, and the thing is though, is that now we're talking about intent, and it's really hard in that situation to actually prove intent is fucking incredibly difficult unless people are making stupid statements like corrosive, right? Like if you're playing the Pauly and fucking corrosive game, it might be really easy to actually prove intent because it's all documented and all over YouTube, right? But when it comes to furry, right, we don't know what furry's intent is. Okay, now we can give our opinions on what we think and that we think that it's malicious or we think that it's intentionally to cause a person to feel a way or another. But the truth is that only furry knows that. And unless furry says, I'm out here to, scare the fuck out of these people today, then...
No, she's made it very abundantly clear. She does not care for religion. Okay, well, that is part of our rights.
Well, and
you
that's
can
funny
dislike
for
it all
a
you
First
fucking
Amendment
want.
auto.
No. That's the problem I have is you can dislike it all you fucking want. I don't claim one religion, period. I just don't. But I do believe in their right to practice their religion freely. They want to go to a church and practice their religion. They have every right to be, instead of having some random fucking person come in who looks like they're going to fucking shoot it up. That's what she looks like. She does it on purpose. That's the problem I have. That's the problem. It has nothing to do with any of her sexual orientation. I don't care. I'm not fucking sleeping with her.
Yeah. If he wants to grow boobs and become a woman, then that's his prerogative or her prerogative.
That is her prerogative. She can do whatever she wishes.
Now, what I'm confused on,
problem is inciting fear in those just trying to peacefully assemble at their churches.
Well, I think the thing about the churches that blows my mind the most is that, if furry is running it as an attack on churches, it seems a little counterproductive for the First Amendment community. Because understand my position on my filming, right? Like, I honestly, I give less of a fuck about the filming than I do my freedom of religion. I give less of a fuck about my freedom of speech than I do my freedom of religion. I give less of a fuck about, press or anything else. Okay. The first thing that when it comes to the First Amendment, in my opinion, and the most important thing in there is our freedom to religion. But with that, you have to maintain freedom of speech, right? Otherwise, all of a sudden, one religion becomes illegal. Not just that, but you have to maintain your freedom of press. Otherwise, there is no free speech. That's why these things have been bundled together in the First Amendment. So for furry to run, supposed attacks on churches, I see as counterproductive to the First Amendment as, ducking behind bushes and, hopping out in my ghillie suit. You know what I mean? Like it looks fucked up, and like you said, like it can create a lot of fear and fucking, it can scare the fuck out of people. Now, do I have the right to do it? Yeah, because the way the laws are written and the freedoms that we maintain, does it make it right? Not necessarily. I think you have to evaluate it, situation by situation. But I definitely don't agree with harassing churches or trying to attack people that are expressing their First Amendment. I think that's stupid and counterproductive.
Then you can kind of understand where everybody is coming from on that sense, is they feel that she is attacking your right to freely,
I see it as I see it a little bit different with furry. I mean, and a lot of people see it that way with furry, but I see it a little bit different with furry. I see furry showcasing that a lot of people that are exercising their First Amendment right to freedom of religion don't follow the very principles that they lay out. And we see furry in a lot of situations where things turn violent quickly, where people fucking act crazy and do fucking insane things, like hit furry with a fucking car in the church parking lot. When you start evaluating those things, I'll be honest with you, furry's not the problem at that point. Furry might be a catalyst to the antagonization, that results to that. But at the same time, those people are the ones making the choices to hop behind the wheel, hit the gas pedal, and aim their vehicle towards furry, right? So I'm not going to blame furry for creating that situation when, in fact, furry was nothing more than a catalyst. The person that created the situation is the person that took the actions too far and then endangered the lives of others.
Come on up, Stephen Ranger.
And that's funny though. I agree with Stephen on that. I think that your rights absolutely end where others' rights begin. However, I would say that filming, and observing a church parking lot is absolutely not interfering with their right to practice their religion, right? They can pray right there where they're standing. They can take their ass inside into the church and practice all they want. To choose not to do that and then engage in physical violence, is not furry's issue. That's their issue. And that's their hypocrisy, not furry's hypocrisy. I mean, that's where I stand with it. Now, I don't agree with the way that furry does it. I really don't. At the same time, it's completely within the bounds of the law, and furry's not the one screaming, "I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to hit you with my car. Let me see that camera," and then try to fucking steal someone's property and then push them down. That's not what furry's done. So as much as I don't like the catalyst or the antagonization that furry presents, I also believe that I don't agree with the responses to those antagonized, catalysts. Just saying. It would be a lot easier, though, just to leave people alone.
I agree with what Andrew actually said here.
Oh, wow. Andrew said something intelligent. I'm surprised.
It could have been ASB. You never know. Just kidding, Andrew.
Correct. But how is furry filming a church taking away their rights? And I would argue that it doesn't, not whatsoever. But them responding in violence and attacking furry for filming is absolutely violating hers.
Yeah, do you know
whether
that?
you like it or not?
Yeah, do you know if she has attacked somebody where you can't see it?
And if that's the case, then furry's just as responsible as the next person in that situation. But mind you, that everything's situation by situation. I've seen furry take it too far before. I have. And the funny part is that I've also seen other people take it way too far with furry. I've seen it on both situations. I'm not going to make a globalization and or a standardized observation of furry based on one encounter, maybe not even based off of two. Rather, I'd like to see it as what it is as the whole. And the funny thing is, if you do that, sometimes furry's right, sometimes furry's wrong. but that same logic can be applied to me. Sometimes I am absolutely right, and sometimes I'm absolutely wrong.
Yeah, because I've seen her hit a guy off camera. Her 360 caught it, and the guy retaliated, and she private citizen arrested him. Well, if you hit him first, he was just defending himself, so thus for you were in the wrong.
Yeah, unless that person, or unless Furry hit him and then walked away, right? And there's no more threat, then that person doesn't really have a right to then in turn chase you down and tackle you and beat you, right? There's a reason we have law enforcement, ladies and gentlemen. There is, okay? As much as people think that I'm anti-cop, I'm not. I believe that law enforcement exists to enforce laws to protect the liberties and constitutional rights that you, me, and the next guy possess. And as long as cops are doing that, they are doing their jobs. It's when they step outside of that they're not.
Damn, Andrew took his smart pills today.
You should pull that back up.
That's exactly correct, though. If you're going somewhere, that's what they're doing. I'm sorry, but we have the right to freely, practice whatever religion we wish. That's one of the things that we have. When she's purposely going there, knowing they're having service, guaranteed we're going to see one at some point today, if there hasn't already been one today.
I'd actually like to combat Andrew's statement there. Okay. So if I go out in front of the courthouse, okay, and I go to the back entrance where I know all the district attorneys enter and exit, and I set up my camera there, okay, ultimately they might be feeling like, I'm taking away from their work, right? Like I'm taking away from their work because I'm filming. But here's the truth. No, I'm not. They have the choice to turn around and go back inside the building and or not stop and enter the building and go back to work and do their jobs. Okay,
Hey,
so
hold on. Hey, Krosa, do you know the law out in California? Every state's different.
Well, I don't know about California, but I'm pretty sure that it's actually federally wide, because I know that that's accurate here. When I arrested those two gentlemen for stealing the cars and so forth, the only reason that it was acceptable was because the overabundance of felonies that they were committing in the process, right? Had they not been committing felonies, and I just arrested them for doing something like stealing a candy bar out of the store, and I would have ran and tackled them and fucking arrested them like I did, right? Then all of a sudden I would be the one in a lot of trouble. Just letting you guys know, you need to know your shit. And it's funny because after that story came out, Josh Abrams tried to do one of his own, and he found out the hard way that, I'm correct. So I'm actually going to go with Corrosive's correct there, to my knowledge and experience.
Damn, Bird said Corrosive was correct. Hey, Miss Kim.
Yeah, but even if you don't get along, you can, if somebody says something correct, you can be like, that is correct.
Truth is truth. Yeah, no matter whether I like you or not, you will evaluate truth for truth, right?
They don't have the right.
And unfortunately, neither does the open public, Drew. The open public does not have a choice whether or not you choose to film on a public sidewalk. Point blank, period. They don't have a choice. Just like the public official doesn't have a choice. Why? Because it is an inherited right.
Andrew, because it's your other drama dome that has the wrench.
My question is, why is he sitting in chat?
I don't know why Steve's sitting in chat.
Probably because I came up.
They can
A lot of people don't like hanging out with me anymore. I get it. I'm an asshole.
Your drama is your drama. I don't give a shit.
Well, I mean, I'm not even into the drama. I think at this point, like, what I'm doing is beyond drama. What I've chosen to do at this point supersedes drama, and it's strictly taking my observations, making an opinion based on the facts. That's not drama. That's actually equivalent to news.
Let's go back to the real furry.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I'd actually agree with Andrew right there. Fucking Andrew, I gotta agree with you.
Now, filming or not filming? Filming or not? Because I think at the point that you go into the entrance with your camera, you're no longer filming in public. Right? That would be like if I crossed and hopped the gate to the CDC, I would have been trespassing. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Steve, congratulations, you lucky dog.
Wow, tell your husband we said that.
Oh no, his wife is gorgeous. Don't even try that shit.
No, I already know. I'm just talking shit. No, in all seriousness, dude. Not only does he have a smoking hot wife, dude, she puts up with him for how long? It's been like many years.
I ain't gonna say nothing against his wife because his wife could kick.
Yeah, if I recall, he said over 20. He said over 20 years. So I'm thinking that Congratulations, Steve. It takes a lot to fucking stay with the same person for that long, and we know that it's because of her patience, not yours.
Just don't give her stilettos.
Yeah, just don't let her get swatted again, dude.
Yeah, Steve's a very, very, very lucky man. I think she has most of the intelligence. She writes a script for him to say, "Hey, this,
oh, come on. Yeah, you got to give Steve. You know what? Like I give Steve a lot of shit, and that's the truth, right? Because there's sometimes I really disagree with his opinions, but he actually makes some pretty good points sometimes. In fact, I think he made a really good one with he had this little crayon, right, and a piece of paper on the desk. And then he starts drawing with it. And he's like, obviously, you think that I'm drawing, but you don't see the crayon, right? So you don't know the full truth. And until you open the hand and you see the crayon and see, ultimately the catalyst to what left the mark on the paper, you don't know things for what they are. And that's why it's so important to continue to do things like evaluate public documents. And I'm not talking about the current ones I'm looking at. I'm talking about period, right? For us anyways, in this community. A happy hippie?
No, I meant to get Rangers. That's why the security guard didn't get charged, because there was a law that protected him.
Wow. Well, I will tell you this much. I am really not impressed with that situation and that security guard's use of force. I think mostly because the officer hit Furry with a ricochet, which shows me that individual shouldn't have been carrying a gun in the fucking first place. My personal opinion.
He was too nervous.
Way too nervous. And that's what I'm saying. You don't act on fear, right? You act to the threat. And, like if it would have been me, I would have waited till Furry crossed the plane of the gate before pulling my firearm, let alone dispatching it.
It was a med chip, not a bullet.
No shit. Well, it's still caused by, the discharge of a firearm illegitimately, in my personal opinion. But that's funny. That's funny as fuck, because that's the narrative out there, right? Like got hit with a fucking bullet. No, but I guess it's a piece of fucking cement.
It was still fucked up, as Steve was saying.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, dude. If I'm not digging lead out of myself, I probably wouldn't even have gone to the hospital, dude. I'd be like, someone go get me a pair of fucking hemostats and let's get this, going. Yeah, guard was an idiot.
Go get me some rubbing alcohol, Benadine, and let's dump it on there.
But I mean, I don't think it's a good idea to go poke and prod at people, period. I think that, like, I've kind of learned that a little bit with the cops, to be honest. I don't think it's all that great of an idea to poke and prod at cops. I started out, pretty much apprenticing under Monkey 83 and 303 Cop Block. Okay. Those guys poke and prod at cops, right? So it's kind of how I jumped into things. And the funny thing is that as I kind of involve myself more and more into that, I realized you don't have to even take it that far. I mean, look at Mount Pleasant. We were able to get cops to fucking act all crazy just by simply taking a photo with flash photography at night of their cars posted up at the end of the road. They moved what, two blocks and then come and quarantined us, you know, blocked us in. You know, so it doesn't take that much. I mean, you don't have to be a fucking douchebag to ultimately, you know, stimulate something into becoming an issue if you choose to. It can be something as simple as a fucking flash from a camera.
I agree with what my two bagels said there. I mean, beagles. And everybody keeps forgetting those three words there.
Well, and that's the problem with baiting people into reactions, right? We see a lot of that on YouTube. And I think that, I don't know, man. I'm kind of, I feel like I'm done to that point, but I don't want to say that I'll never do it again. You know what I mean? Because there's some people that piss me off, and then I'm like, okay, I'll go ahead and poke and prod at this just a little bit, you know? I know I'm still kind of poking and prodding at CSUPD, and they're lying all kinds through their fucking teeth trying to cover that shit.
Yeah, I just wish the cop watchers and / wannabe auditors or whatever they want to fucking call themselves would actually learn, hey, just be the tripod. If a cop's going to be bad, the cop's going to do it no matter fucking what.
Yeah, but that takes time. I mean, like, so if you go back, look at my last 2 audits. I'm very quiet. And you can dig through my archives. I don't know if I have them. Obviously, all of my videos are not up, but I could probably make sure we go through them. I have several audits actually where I just don't say shit, right? And I think that the funny part about that is typically when I do that, there's no reaction. There's nothing, right? There's just a cop watch, a boring ass cop watch, a little click and view that no one really wants to even indulge in. And that's the sad part, is that I mean, I want to place the blame at this point more on the subscribers than the content creators, right? Because it is your view and click and your response to these videos that are ultimately driving these incidences to continue to be fucking created in bait, right? Because all these auditors well, you say, but let's look at this. I can run a fucking drama stream right now. I'm going to get more views on my drama stream than I am going to get on a silent cop watch. If I get arrested, I'm going to get more views on that arrest than I am going to get on, you know, the drama and or just a regular cop watch, right? Why is that? Because the subscribers are fucking drawn to it. You guys are addicted to the fucking drama. You're addicted to the Jerry Springer fucking presentation of, you know, content that these people are creating, including myself.
Yeah. People go where the drama is, and it is a proven fact that drama sells. You standing there being a statue doesn't sell, so people are going to go where the drama is.
Precisely. But, you know, I mean, hey, it is what it is, dude. It really is. But at the end of the day, who cares? I mean, that's what it really breaks down to. I kind of think that I'd rather be the tripod at this point. You know, but that's my personal preference. Others might rather choose to bait at this point because you guys are giving them fucking money for it, right? They're monetized. Every time you click that channel, they're making a penny.
Like right now, Furries Live.
Called it.
Accidental live stream. Like Southside Slacker. That guy is remarkable. You can't judge a book by a cover just by how he looks, and he acts totally different than what his appearance is. He doesn't act like, excuse my term here, a hood rat or a hood thug. He acts like a church-going, suit-wearing guy and everyday guy.
Well, and even if you don't look like an everyday guy, I mean, like, should we take the actions of furry and then all of a sudden put a label on the entire LGBT community? I don't think that would be fair to Spike Love, who's like one of the sweetest fucking people in the fucking world.
Oh, Spike
You know what I
Love.
mean?
Spike Love's a good guy or girl. Sorry, I don't know what gender he or she classifies.
You talking about Spike?
Yeah, Spike.
Spike is a female.
Okay. And she, sorry, Spike.
Yep.
I agree with that.
Yeah, Spike
statement.
is cool.
I'm just saying, like, you got to take people on, you know, a case by case basis. The same way I think that you should be taking these audits on a situation by situation basis.
I agree with that. Could be right there. Yeah, I'm looking through Slacker's videos.
That's funny. I could be really, because I disagree with you cold-heartedly there. I believe I'm absolutely fighting for rights. I think that's all I've been doing.
Good afternoon, Bones. Here's Slacker's one video.
He's trying to call me. This is funny. All right. You want to talk to us? I mean, does it look like it? I'm being stalked by 2 armed men. Do you think I want to talk? Well, you are stalking me. You followed me from there. You were sitting there. You couldn't find me, so you rolled around. I don't want to talk, bro. So please stop coming towards me and fuck off. I'm minding my own business. That's what I'm up to. Y'all can fuck off and do your work. Do your job. Go catch a criminal. Leave me the fuck alone. Then get the fuck out of here. Why are you following me? Why are you following me? Get the fuck out of here. I can duck wherever the fuck I want to. It's public property, bro. You don't have to know what I'm up to, bro. I'm up to my business. Again, you can quit approaching me because I'm starting to feel threatened. You can quit approaching me. I'm starting to feel... You had 2 armed men who have stalked me from the side of the building with guns are now approaching me. How am I not to feel threatened? Because you're a fucking retard. That's why. I don't know. 2 armed men stalking me and approaching me with guns, and I'm not to feel threatened. Let's use some common sense. You are trying to intimidate. Then leave me the fuck. Drive the fuck off. Drive the fuck off. Drive the fuck. You made contact. I told you I'm good. Drive the fuck off. It seemed like you wanted to make contact.
You could take it how you want it. You can take it how you want it. You can take it how you want it. I'm doing me. Now get the fuck out of here. Do you? Simple as that.
Why are you recording?
Do I have to have a reason? It's America, bro. I'm a Texan. This is a free state still, right? Fuck out of here, bro. Why are we still talking? I told you I don't want contact. So
Good morning, Slacker.
and then your questions are done because I'm done talking to you, bro. I'm
Come
done
on up,
talking to you.
Slacker.
Get the best description you can because you get nothing else from me, bro. Fucking clowns, bro. Go back to what I was doing. I am. I am. Cool. Okay, now that now. But the fucked up thing is, though, let me put it out there, boss man. The fucked up thing is, why do I have to be identified to be left alone?
I didn't ask you for your
No, you didn't. But you knew me. You're Southside Slacker, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Fuck, I am. It is what it is. But why did you have to know me before it became a okay? No big deal. Then that's my point. If I was a regular dude, I feel intimidated. I'm not intimidated because I do this. You know me to Southside Slacker. You know I do this. I don't look for the confrontation, but I come out here to test to see how I react. Y'all know that. You know what I'm saying? And I've changed quite a bit. I usually, like I said, like I'm used to be the asshole like a motherfucker, but I'll come and I'll try to give y'all my point of view and try to hear y'all's as well. If I was just somebody who you didn't know, this is intimidating, bro. If I'm just filming, how do you know I just didn't take a seat right there because I was tired? And to be honest, I've been hanging around that car because that supervisor left the laptop in it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not good at all. So I have been hanging around that car. You know what I'm saying? Y'all came, now we can address the issue with the laptop in the car. But even if I was just sitting there, how do you know I ain't been walking and I'm tired and just need a break? Why does it have to be? And that's what I'm saying. And I do feel like talking in Texas. You know what I'm saying? Like
technically. So y'all weren't stalking because there is no jurisdiction or no law or anything that I'm aware of that you can hit me with. But that's what it appears like. This gentleman sat there, and I'm not gonna lie to you, boss. In the early video, I called you a chick, but you drove by me, so it's nothing personal. Like now that I see you, but this gentleman was sat there. I saw him walk out and sat there and parked. Officer came and kind of made contact, recognized me, and dipped, and he sat there. After he sat there, I seen you pull up. So I'm like, okay, they're obviously here for me because I'm here filming. So I walked away. When I and jogged a little bit. That was a little bit of a test. I'm not gonna lie to that. But I walked away and jogged and came here, and y'all instantly followed me. I'm not doing anything like following, yeah, but y'all had an intent for you came right up next to me. You followed me around when you couldn't see me, and then y'all are trying to make contact after I told you I didn't want to. These are things that can intimidate someone who doesn't do this like I do. You know what I'm saying? Just a regular cat who's just out to exercise his rights. And that's the shit that we talk about that needs to be bridged. Like once a cat says no good, get the description like you were doing, perfect. You know what I'm saying? Get the description, report it in, and just follow me. I don't care if y'all follow me. I've been followed when I have my gun out. I get followed all the time. That's y'all's job. But it's this that we're trying to stop, to where y'all feel the need to have to make contact and identify and find out what's going on. Like none of that is y'all's business. You know what I'm saying? And that's all we're getting at.
It's a perception, man. It's plain and simple. Perception. Like I can hear from computer issue myself. Okay.
Yeah, I can't say that you came further. I can't. Yeah.
I'm letting you know. Okay. To be straight up with you, I'm letting you know. Okay. So I came in here, got my shoes up, and I saw you when I drove in here.
Yeah.
I didn't think anything of it. Saw you when I drove out. Like I said, maybe you were tired. I don't know. But it just looked. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No. I get that.
Cool. And all we want to do was ask what you were. That was it. Plain simple. You don't want to tell us? Tell us to fuck off. Cool.
But the fucking thing, boss, is I did. I said those exact words. I said, I'm doing me, now y'all can fuck off.
Yeah.
And you still proceeded to, well, I just wanted to ask a question. I just want to like,
That was it.
you see, but you still push with the question. That's what I'm talking about. Instead of saying, you know what, boss, that's fucked up how you came at me, but I'm out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just let me know, like, you didn't have to be so disrespectful, but I'm out of here. And then just peep game.
But we didn't escalate it either.
You're right. You didn't. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, as I was saying, I felt intimidated. I'm taking it from someone who doesn't have these contexts regularly, how they would feel. It does feel a little intimidating with two men who just followed me around the building. And yes, my actions could be deemed a little suspicious. I'm not knocking that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here in front that I'm just a fucking angel walking around here like doing nothing. You know?
You told us at the beginning you were looking for it, so it is.
Well, okay, not looking, like, not intentionally looking for it, hoping that y'all would have just seen me and drove off, not made the contact. Everything else, I'm fine. Even the stalking and following me around, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because you're right. I'm running around cars. I'm by the building. I'm all for the following. It's the stopping out and getting contact there. That's where it begins to be like, okay.
I'm gonna pause it. So, what do you think of that so far, Bird and AK?
I think that's fine. He's correct in this. He's been doing this for a while. Slacker knows what he's doing, right? But he's not at a fucking church.
So I think that this is my position with it. If you don't want the cops to engage you, you don't engage the cops. Okay. So when they were following him and then he started screaming, go fuck off. Okay. In my opinion, that gave officers a reason to engage, because not only do you have someone that's armed, now you have someone that's disgruntled and armed. Whether now the cops have become that catalyst to making that happen. And I would kind of argue the opposite, just based on the fact that Southside's out there doing this activism intentionally. Okay. So I would say that he's somewhat wrong right here for thinking that they shouldn't have engaged him. At the same time, I do agree with the stance. Had he not, spouted off a bunch of disgruntled shit towards him, and they were, walking and stalking him, and then started trying to ask him questions, he could have just said, I don't want to answer your questions. I am fine. Thank you. Have a good day. And then walk the fuck off. And if they continue to do it from there, I would agree with this position right here 100%.
I kind of like he went back to have a normal conversation with the cops, but that's me.
De-escalated. Yeah.
Yeah.
But should the escalation have taken place in the first place? You know what I mean? So mind you, I think Southside Slacker is probably one of the fucking better auditors that hit the streets, personally. But let me just kind of say that we can objectively look at it and say that screaming "fuck you" at those cops might have been, a mistake, and that's it. Like, even though we're seasoned, doesn't mean that we're not going to make mistakes. But when you're looking at perception, you don't engage someone that you don't want to engage you. It's when they engage you, you tell them that you don't want to be engaged.
He had the right to tell him to fuck off. He has the right to tell anybody.
He
to fuck off.
absolutely rights. I don't. Yeah. Or okay. So we're just talking about what's legal and right, because legally he's within the bounds of the law and his rights. You are correct.
Yeah.
But I would also argue that they were within the profession of their authority, okay, to engage for that casual encounter based on that very right that he expressed.
Yeah. I don't want to say aggression, but it was a little aggressive. So they wanted to make sure he was okay and see what the problem was.
I just know that if I really don't want a cop to talk to me, I'm not going to say 2 fucking words to the dude until he starts approaching me and talking to me. And at that point in time, if I don't want to talk to him, I'm going to make it clear I don't want to talk to you, right? Or it's going to be like the CDC where, you know, I'm on, cool, let's talk about it. We'll fucking talk about it all the way to the jail, you know?
Yeah. You can come on up, Slacker.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Slacker's here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great timing, dude.
Yeah, because I don't want to speak for him because I could be speaking the wrong way what he was thinking that day.
I personally, as just because I've never been out there with a camera, nothing like that. Just as a citizen who supports you know, you have every right. I don't see that he acted bad. Here's the thing. I think he's right in this situation. Well, yes, it can be concerning. Concerning doesn't give you a reason to identify. And if they're Slacker, I got a question. Were you walking or were you just standing there? I'm sorry, that's one part I kind of missed.
I believe he was walking through. I believe he was walking through from what I've seen and heard.
It was a mix of both. I visited it twice. I walked by it on my way to court and then came back to it after court. And I sat outside the garage doorway for about 10 minutes. And then after sitting outside the doorway, noticed these 2 officers. And that's when I began to kind of walk around and act a little suspicious. I don't know. Can y'all hear me real well? I don't know.
Yeah, no. We can hear you.
I can hear
you. I just wanted to come up, like I said, I agree with everything Bird was saying. I just wanted to come up and say I only made the contact for the whole speech afterwards, because a lot of these cops don't get it, man. And even though I could have walked away, I wanted to, like I said, it's about educating and let them know where we feel could be worked on. And I just wanted to talk to them and let them know that the officer told me, like you just heard, all you had to do was tell me is to fuck off and we would have left. Well, I literally told that officer those exact words, and he still continued to talk to me. You know, he still continued. He
did state that, didn't he?
You know, yeah. He said all you had to do was tell us to fuck off, and we would have left. And I told him, well, that's kind of messed up, boss, because I used those exact words. I said, I'm doing me, now do you, and fuck off. And you still, proceeded to ask, are you okay? Can we help you? Can we do this? Can we do that? Well, bro, I just told you, leave me alone. And that's what people like that aren't like myself and like Bird that don't get out and do that. That's what they find intimidating. We've expressed ourselves to you. Please leave us alone. And you don't listen. You continue to push and push and push, and then get upset at us that we get aggravated.
Yes, the equivalent. That would be the equivalent of them showing up to your door, you telling them that no, like there's no dispute here. Everybody in the house agrees there's no dispute, and then you go to close the door, and the officer sticks his foot to the inside.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like it's more than just inappropriate, dude. It's aggressively encroaching.
Say kill them with kindness. You know, they're being aggressive, but they're being like real. I don't know how to put it, but it doesn't. What's the word I'm looking for when you do something?
Can't I help you? You need this bullet. You need this bullet. Let me help you.
No, it almost feels like they're trying to start an interaction, just the same as, you know, people claim that auditors or cop watchers or activists, whatever you want to call them, right? That they try to start, right? I think in this situation, Slacker, if you were trying to kind of ag it on in a sense of like you were trying to get them to pay attention to you, I'm not against it, but I'm not completely for it. I'm just going to be 100% there. But I as I heard you say that it was for the conversation, right, that could happen, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
But definitely, I think they're in a sense they're the ones that are antagonizing it in this situation. Almost. I think you kind of both were, but you were going about it to start a good conversation and, get some learning in there if it went that far.
Well, I think that his overall goal would have been for them to hear him say, I'm doing me, you do you, go fuck off, and then, like he said, turn around and get in their fucking car and go about their business.
Like that would have been like, 'cause I don't give these cops too bad of a grade. Like these cops to me, man, they were polite. They were even though like that doesn't I don't approve of what they did because they were polite and courteous, but they at least came out being polite, courteous, and respectful, and they weren't pushing the issue. So I'll give them like a C, because they didn't try to do nothing. But I'll give them a passing grade as a C because, like Bird said, I was doing shit that kind of did cause for them to want to make contact. Like they were doing their job. As like I said, I'm cussing them out. I'm contacting them verbally, so they kind of have a need to contact me. So I'm not mad at them at that, but it's shit like that. I watched. And this came up after watching Floyd's video because, me personally, like, I feel like Floyd does do intentional shit to get the contact. So I was like, let me kind of do what Floyd was doing when he got arrested here in Texas. So I did the same shit. I was hanging around cars, sitting next to cars, kind of taking jogs around the buildings, you know what I'm saying? And seeing how they would react to it. And that's what I got. So I feel like it was, for the most part, a good audit minus their push to at the end there. But it's on both of us. We both could have done better. We both could have.
Well, I think it also shows that as seasoned as you are, you know what I mean, that we still have to realize that, in the heat of the moment, we're not going to do everything perfectly.
Amen. Yeah.
And I think that's something that's overlooked tremendously with cop interactions. You got a lot of people sitting in jail for the way that they respond to these interactions. And the interesting part is that, it's easy to say it's wrong or this guy's right, but here's the truth of it. Until you're put in that situation, you don't know how you're going to respond. And until you experience having to, process 50 different fucking things, including what the legalities are, while you're, having these conversations and these dialogues, because dude, one wrong word could have landed you in jail, bro.
Oh, it's done before. I was at an audit. A dude hit me and I told him they got me for a threat. I told him, come down to the south side, bro, and put your hands on me. And I promise you, it won't turn out like this. That I promise you, I bet I beat the shit out of you. And they arrested me for a threat. It got dropped, but because again, it's wording. I never told the man I was going to kick his ass. I told him, you come to the south side and you try what you did, and I promise I'll beat your ass. So like they tried, but they do. You're right. You have to watch what you say, even, you know what I'm saying, in the moment.
Yeah, I've made a lot of mistakes, dude, especially because I like to talk to keep the content going for my videos, which is not advisable, by the way. But yeah, dude, I've made a lot of fucking mistakes, dude. Like, I don't think that I think the only perfect audits that I have are the ones where I don't say a word. True.
I have one of those, and NNH has it on his SD card because it was back when I was still fucking filming with NNH, and he has my one of my best audits on his fucking GoPro SD card, and I've never seen it, never will.
No, I mean, well, that's because you got morals in the high ground, bro, and I'm saying, stick with it. You're doing good.
Oh yeah, and then too, like I'll admit, like this week I did probably like my best audit that I have on film was probably done this week at a fucking post office. I went to it's actually up because I went to go mail off some merchandise and figured I'd live stream it while I did it, and I was in there maybe 7-8 minutes, but I mean nobody gave me any problems people wise. The lady at the counter was polite, courteous, never told me I couldn't have my fucking camera on or nothing, helped me and everything.
That's a gem. But yeah, that's dude. I have one of those, bro. Like I have one of those actually. I did Loveland's records office here in Colorado. I went over to Loveland. I went to the records office and I played around in there. We did a full tour of the building, and then I went and did a records request from the lady up front, and I had my camera out the entire time. You could tell that there was one of the staff in the back that was kind of like pouting about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they were incredibly courteous, helpful, and respectful, dude. And I was like, dude, if this was what was on YouTube, dude, I would feel like we're making progress in society.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Otis, I was just gonna rant.
Have you two read what AK said backstage?
No, let me go look.
Let me see. Oh, it's AK, man. All anyone has to do is ask. I'll try my best to make myself available to anybody.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah.
Because
no,
what I'm
about it.
thinking is you pick a video, I pick a video, and then go to your channels and a random video. So 3 videos, we'll break them down. Why did you do it? What would you do different? Simple questions.
Oh yeah, I'd have no problem with that, man.
Oh, yay. Thanks, guys.
They just want the cuteness there. That's all.
There you go. No, I mean, I'm always happy to talk about it because I think that, you know, especially when you can actually evaluate where you're making mistakes, you know, and or where, you know, as a content creator, where I'm making my mistakes, right? I think that if we can be honest with ourselves and evaluate those, and then the next time it comes about, you know, we handle it just a little bit differently. We get just a little bit better every time. So constructive criticism is a positive thing. You know, ridicule, on the other hand, you know, I think that there's a borderline between the two, and this community hasn't learned it.
Oh yeah, and community hasn't learned also, like you just said, Bird, that fucking self-reflecting. Like, no, a lot of people in this community refuse to see the error in their ways and want to point blame at the cops and the citizens. Like, no, every interaction takes 2 parties. Just like you said, I have to look back at it and see what I did wrong, how I could have been different, how I could better the situation next time. Like, that's everything in life.
There it is.
Oh, I'm super excited. I will get together with you guys. Bert, I got your number.
Yeah.
Slacker, are you still on Discord, dear?
Yes, ma'am, I am, but the name isn't Slacker. It's a weird. It says it's Clown Baby, but it's spelled real weird. Let me see. See if I can post. See if I have it in my clipboard. If not, I'll just put my number on here. I don't care if y'all 3 have it.
Oh, cool. Because I definitely look forward to it, and it's just gonna be the way I look at it. The way I want to kind of do it is it would just be me and you, right? Like just me and the one person that I'm talking to. Later on, if there's time and you have time to talk to people, great, we'll have people up. But I just want to run through it, you know. I think that's so awesome that both of you are on the thought process that you can make an interaction better the next time. By reflecting.
I think that's the key is, well, if you're not going for that, what are you going for, AK? Like, if you're not out to like make positive changes, you know, like as far as like if you're an activist, if you're not making a positive change, then you're probably just a stimulus to making negative changes, and that's not activism. That's fucking destruction.
Amen. Go ahead, ma'am.
I think every day, you know, like you guys said, there's a chance to grow. I'm not into breaking you guys or being mean or anything like that, and that's why I've really, really enjoyed this conversation. I hope everybody who has stayed in the chat and who has made it thus far, or only stopped in for a second, or is rewatching this, thank you, and thank you, Slacker and Bird and Odin. You guys are, you know, awesome.
Hey, can one of you 2 auditors answer that question from Bone?
What's the question?
I posted it up. How's auditing a post office fighting for my freedom or rights?
Personally, I don't see how much of it is, in all honesty. That's why I've never really done it. The video I did wasn't intended to be an audit. I even say in the video, this isn't an audit, but now that I look back on it, anytime I interact and have business and film it, it's an audit. I'm seeing how they act. So it's an unintentional audit, but I don't see how it does. I went in there to handle business and just filmed that and left. To me, a post office has no weight on anything in society for the most part. Like, unless there's just real tyrants in there, but I don't see it. I don't see how walking in with your camera is going to uphold anything long term right now and from a post office. Besides that, showing that government overreaches, but I mean, how often do you have to go into a post office for them to fucking violate your rights anyways? I think I've been to a post office twice in my entire fucking life. That's why I don't do churches. I don't do fucking post offices. I don't do fucking any of that shit that you see now by a lot of these people that call themselves activists and auditors and shit, man. They're YouTubers is what they are. They're YouTubers that are trying to get as much content and views as possible.
And I would agree with that.
It's funny when you look at it, like what does it really all equate to? We have commercialized and turned YouTube content, or I should say rights, into YouTube content and consumerism.
Mm.
And I think if the forefathers knew that, they would be very, very upset, dude. Very upset.
And that's why I kind of wanted to change the way I do it too, also, because when I first came in this, I was of the mind, I have the right, yada, yada. There is no right way to do it, blah, blah, blah. And I still feel that way. To each their own. Everyone, you can only exercise your rights and defend your rights, just like I can only exercise and defend mine. Rights are subjective to the individual because we can only understand them the way we understand them. So on that note, like I said, and I had to change what I was doing because I felt like I was influencing a lot of these up and coming guys to pick up a camera and just talk shit to cops because they can. But that's not exactly what I was doing. Now, don't get me wrong, I loved talking shit to the cops and giving them the business. But every time I cussed a cop out, I felt I had a purpose behind it, and I had two legs to stand on. I just didn't go out there and see a cop and just cuss him out and treat him like shit for no reason because he's a cop. Like, no, I cussed him out and treated him like shit because I either witnessed him violating someone's right or he's violating my rights up front. So that's why I had to change a lot how I interact with cops, so I don't give people that want to pick up a camera that notion that this is what the community is. Just pick up a camera and degrade a cop and people will love you. Well, like, no, they're human beings as well. There's a person in that badge. Now, while in that badge, I don't trust him, and I find him like I'm sketchy and I'm weary, and he's the enemy. But he's still a human being that has to go home to his family at night. Possibly has a daughter, possibly has a son, a wife, whatnot, or husband, however, whatnot. So I had to think about that. What am I doing to contribute to the community? Am I making a positive influence in the community, the YouTube community, as well as my community, or am I making a negative one?
All right. Pull that up to read it. And Slacker, I sent you a text, so that might have been me.
Okay. Yeah, my bad. I had to just mute it right now because I didn't know if y'all were hearing those go off.
You guys want to continue watching? And I hope you don't mind me playing your video, Slacker.
No, I don't mind if anybody does. Like, the only people I don't want playing it is if anyone's trying to get paid off of shit they ain't doing. If they've got you know what I'm saying? Like, if they just stealing people's content, like mine and everyone else's. And other than that, I'd care less what anyone does with my content. It's out there. It's public use. So that's what it is.
I like your videos because I can pause it and we can talk, and hopefully nobody will have a heated discuss where they want to go kill each other over fucking words.
Isn't that so true?
Right.
That's what Slacker brings to the table, man. I believe, I mean, and I've always took this position with you, Slackers, that you've always been balanced.
Appreciate it. I try to be.
And what you said on Shelly's stream last night, fuck, it was right on.
Dude, I love Joe to death. Joe Cool's my man. I love him. But I mean, I can't help but I hate hearing that propaganda, that fucking racist propaganda throughout this nation. We live in the least racist country in the fucking world. We are the only country to have gone to a civil war to free an individual race. You know what I'm saying? And yet we still get bashed as the most racist country in the world. The black man is the most influential man in this nation. Like if a black man and a white man were both going to the same college, there's a more chance the black man gets it because they want to fucking fill their minority quotas and shit like that due to things like affirmative action. So there's no way that the black man is held down as bad as he is due to race alone. Now, economic, yes, if due to your social standing, that holds you down. If you live in a lower economic environment, then that's what's holding you down.
Well, and to Joe's defense, that was by design, dude. You cannot say that the placements of ghettos in America and the segregation didn't supersede the very moment that segregation ended, right? It has been, and what a slow burn. And so, so to some degree, and trying to kind of, help people understand to some degree, when you beat somebody into a corner and you keep beating them down, they're only going to allow you to do it so long before they lash back out. And, you know, you can't take a culture of people, dude, that have been fucking oppressed and ridiculed for centuries and have been dealing with the slow burn of just barely gaining the freedom of speech. And just as you're gaining your freedom of speech, all of a sudden the rules start changing and the government starts taking it away.
The government, I can't deny that the system has its issues, but Joe, like I said, when we were talking yesterday, because we talked about a letter, he was talking about, in his eyes, 8 out of 10 white people are racist to him. 80% of us niggas, is his words, man. 80% of you niggas are racist. Those were his words. You know what I'm saying? And that's the shit that I talk about. This country is not, as a country, as a society, we have moved way beyond that. Now, as a system, we do hold down a lot of people. But again, it's not just, it's economic. It's not race. It's due to your economic standing. And yes, race had a lot to do with the way we're mapped out. You're 100% right, Bird, sir. But in my neighborhood, like, there's a congressman in my neighborhood. There's a fucking former mayor, Julian Castro, from my neighborhood, graduated from my high school, you know? So it's not that it can't be done but it's hard to get done when you constantly tell yourself you have hurdles. If you're constantly looking at the hurdles, you're never going to get past it. You gotta just run right by those type shit. Everyone has hurdles, unfortunately, you know. And yes, some people have it easier than others, but I don't believe it's solely due to race. I believe it's solely due to class. What class you're in.
Yeah, I think at this point, yeah, it is economics. I don't think that there's a difference in standing at this point in a free America between me or Joe based on skin tone alone.
Well, especially in this generation. Okay, let's look at how far it's come, let alone in the 28 years I've been alive. Okay.
Hold on.
30 years, 50 years.
Okay, I need to jump in here. Wasn't President Obama from, I'm going to have to say it like this, the ghetto, the lower part of
Chicago, I believe. Yeah.
Well, I guess if graduating from Princeton's the lower end,
yeah,
you know what I mean. I mean, let's evaluate some things here.
Hold on, Bird.
No, he tried to play up how little he had. He tried to play that up. That is just plain and
his
simple.
family's history is not his, right? Like, you know, think about his father being a man out of the ghetto, and that's probably true. Okay, but however, that was not Obama's experience. He was just as silver spoon fed as Trump, as fucking Clinton, as the next guy.
Yeah. All right. See, I wasn't sure on that either.
Yeah, he's no better than Bush, dude. But that's the narrative that they want to push, dude. It's the same reason why they pushed the George Floyd narrative. Okay, don't think for a second that all this racial tension and all this shit that has been, casted upon the American people, and I would say even across the world, but really our focus here, America, isn't anything more than propagated discontent created by those that are in charge of pumping us full of information.
100%.
You realize that
Yep.
This is the most advertised to population in
corporate
world
media
history. World history.
Yep. Corporate media is half the problem here, if not all the problem.
Well,
but who owns that? The government owns media. So what's that saying is that media is creating this problem.
The government told you in the 60s that they had agents in the media, that they were paying
absolutely.
People, They told us that.
Do I believe they own media? No. Do I believe they have worms in or whatever the fuck they want to call them?
Okay, so let's see. So we're going to call them lobbyists because the government has the most money. They lobby and they get what they want. Okay, so no matter how you cut and slice it, they own the shit. Okay,
no.
If they're the ones funding it, and they're funding it to get what they want and to promote the propaganda that they wish desire, to cause dispersions upon the American people from the restrictions of their First Amendment, and I would say not just your freedom of press, not just your freedom of speech, okay, not just your freedom of religion, okay, like it's all of it, right? You weren't allowed to go to church during Corona, okay.
Nope.
Real journalists that work for fucking, full-on news agencies with their credentials, were being pepper sprayed and shot in the face with rubber bullets. Okay? People, and why were those rubber bullets flying? Because people's right to protest and their freedom of speech. Fuck that.
I believe it all goes back to money talks, bullshit walks. I'll throw you $1 million, you do what I say, and people are going to do shit for money because they're money hungry.
I mean, yeah, give me $1 million and I'll thrash whatever you want, whatever.
And then
That's
on top of
that's the attitude, right?
the media's the government's offering the media money and control as well. I mean, imagine being able to say that you can push the world's narrative, you know, to have that kind of control, because all of them are biased. I mean, Fox is owned by one side, CNN, MSNBC owned by another. Like, you can't get legit news. They talk about bullshit rather than real shit, rather than what's going on and what these politicians are doing to change our fucking country.
But that's funny because both agencies are funded by the same sources.
Yep.
But
right, they're different entities. They're privatized different entities, but they're funded by the same sources. So where's the fucking pyramid scheme start and where's it stop? You know, and at what point do we start making it, you know, clear and abundant that you can no longer, you know, contribute more than this amount of money to a particular, you know, agency that has a certain amount, you know, before they have a monopoly over the information that you consume.
Personally, I'm sorry, Slacker.
No, I was just agreeing with them. I just said I agree. That's all. I apologize.
Personally, I think government shouldn't have no control, no money control in media. They should stay the fuck out of media, like they say they do with the right to religion.
Well, they're supposed to, Odin, but it's as simple as doing the same thing they've done with the CDC. You privatize it, you give it fucking the corporate American power based on fucking whatever ordinance and or fucking law that you use to justify it, even though it goes against everything else that has been established, you know, throughout the basic foundations of this country. And that's called the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. I mean, at that point in time, anything that supersedes that, dude, you know, or goes against it definitely is, you know, or nothing supersedes it. And ultimately anything that goes against it is bullshit. If we can stick to that, we'll be okay. We compromise that like we have been, we're fucked.
And we're going to continue to. Unfortunately, this generation's been indoctrinated pretty well toward like it's downhill. The next 100 years for this nation, if this country don't get its shit together, is all downhill. And I'm so worried for it.
I think that's half fair and half not, because I will say that there are a lot of people who are starting to open their eyes, right? Starting to look into things and realizing, especially over this coronavirus thing, that these big news stations that we're supposed to believe what they're telling us are lying.
Right there.
Blatantly lying. And so many are now starting to look a little bit more. And if we can keep that going, if we can keep that trend going, that's why I'm just so against these harsh interactions with the public. Police officers, yes, they're humans, and I don't think you should be a complete and total fucking arrogant piece of shit and be telling them, you know, you're gonna go home and hit your wives and stuff. I don't like that. That's not cool. You're putting a perception out there that could be true, it could be false. But I think if we were to have these better interactions with people and have these conversations go a little better, you'd have more and more people researching.
Yes. And I also feel too, like, that what gets me with this community is that you'll have somebody yell at a cop, hey, go home and beat your wife, and then go home and associate with either another YouTuber or somebody in their personal life who beats their wife. You know, if you're going to sit out here and tell somebody that this is wrong and they shouldn't, like, if a cop is doing it and it's horrible, why associate with somebody who's done it or doing it? You know, because, like, I see people that I'm subscribed to that post shit about cops being charged with rape and sexual assault. And in the same breath, I'm like, but don't you affiliate with NNH, bro? You know, like, how
seriously,
call somebody out for doing something and then that night go home and associate with people who do that exact same thing? Like, it's hypocritical, and you're no better than the police at that point.
They don't practice what they preach.
Yeah.
And that's the hard pill to swallow.
See, the rebuttal I have heard to that, right? The only rebuttal that I could even halfway get behind was if they paid. No, I'm not specifically talking about NNH. I'm talking about other people who have maybe made some mistakes and you know, but that they had paid for their crime. You know, in the eyes of society, they have paid for their crime. I don't think that's necessarily fair in all situations, though, because especially in the situation of like sexual assault or rape, the person lives with it forever.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Forever. As a survivor myself, I can tell you, I will live with those things forever. Right? It doesn't define who I am. It doesn't make me who I am, but I am stronger. Right? And I own it, and I have survived it.
Oh, 100% agree, and that's why Twin Mommy, I made my choice too, because the culture I'm involved in, chomos, rapists, and shit like that, like that you don't. That's just you don't. Those people are blackballed, and they get what they deserve. And from that also, I know many women in my like immediate family, ex-wife, and other women that have been assaulted, and I know what they've had to go through. Like you said, it doesn't define them, but like they never forget it. There's always days or times or something that where they're
a simple word or somebody touching you or looking at you. Like for me, I'm as sweet and nice as I am, and I'll show you my smile and all those different things in person. Don't fucking touch me.
Yeah,
it's a thing for me. Don't touch me.
That's good stuff. Hey, not to be rude, but it's time for me to cook brunch. I got bacon going and stuff now. It's been fun. Slacker, aka Odin. You guys have a great day. I'll leave, and I'm sure that'll probably open it up for others to join.
Well, thank you for the conversation, and I will get a hold of you and figure out a good time for you and I to get together and have a video.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. You guys
enjoy
have a good one.
brunch.
You too, man. Enjoy that bacon.
It just people can't. They want it their way, but not have it somebody else's way. You can't have it both ways. They got to find that neutral ground anymore. You can't find it.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad my son's got his head on right.
Well, the father has his head on right.
I had one of the best moments as a parent, and I realized in that moment I must be doing something fucking right. Okay. And I'm damn proud of it. And it actually brought me to tears. We were at a wedding. My son had to walk down the aisle with a little girl, you know, about his age, about 4 years old. And he goes up to the girl and goes, "Can I hold your hand?" Doesn't grab it until she says yes, and then grabs her hand.
That's what's up.
Because I've made it clear in my home, unless you have permission to touch me, don't touch me.
But it should be like that, yeah, with females anyways, you know. So yeah, that's 100%. That's a little gentleman right there you're raising. That's awesome.
We need to. I'm sorry. We need to go back to having morals and ethics and say, hey, let me hold the door open for you, AK, or hey, walk on this side of the street so I can walk on the outside. Be a gentleman. Be proper.
Like and it sucks, unfortunately. Like I feel like it started, and I can't remember who else I heard say this, but it's something that I've heard a few times, and some of the people I listen to. But it started when they taken away the home structure, the basic. And I'm not saying that has to be man and woman, but the basic structure of a whole family, a mother, a father, and children. Like once they took that away and started demeaning that, that's how things fell apart. Because that male role model, that proper male role model for the men disappeared, and the proper male role model for the women disappeared. And now this is what we got. Women that choose to want to be housewives during the 90s, I remember got looked at into like, why do you want to be a housewife? That's not rewarding. There's no reward in that. Like people talk bad about women that wanted to just grow up and be moms, like it was looked down on. And that's the kind of shit that's turned. You lose the family, then you lose God, or you lose God, then however they did it. But they've just been slowly breaking down the family environment.
Mm-hmm. So, Slacker, are you thinking about doing panels?
I'm trying to, but I've noticed the last two ones I did end up real choppy and fucking buffery. So I'm not sure. Hold on.
Do you have a laptop?
Oh no, I don't invest in none of that. I paid. My mindset is I paid damn near $1,400 for this phone, so it better be able to do everything I need.
Yeah, $1,400. Shit.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to break my phone for the next 2 years. Or I get a shitty phone.
So yeah, I swear, man, I take care of the, yeah, because I pay so much. I do. Like it's fucking. I know where it's at all times. It's like another child.
Yeah.
But I'd like to do this type of panel thing. I'm not sure if it just be just like this, just random talking, or if I should have fucking subjects or what.
I like Kenny Klein's panels. They'll have subjects. They'll talk about auditors, and they'll crack jokes or just common bullshit while they're talking about the auditor or cop watcher or whatever it is. And it's just a normal flow of conversation.
All right, yeah, I like Kenny. I'll be watching him.
Oh yeah, and then I love that you can have a difference of opinion up there, and you're not. He definitely won't allow you to sit there and just be attacked, right? Which I think is great, because I think a difference of opinions creates those conversations.
Yep.
Sometimes I'll say shit that I don't even believe in just to get the conversation, going. More people do this.
Yeah. I feel like Joe does that a lot too. Like he'll just a lot of this. That's why you got to be careful when you talk to Joe, because like a lot of times he'll say some shit that you think is like super fucked up or super racist or super hypocritical, but he's only saying that shit because he knows it'll get people's attention.
Sparking.
Like he'll come up with something like that snags people's ear, snags people's eye, and then it gets the conversation going again.
Yep.
As much as we've talked about him, I'm shocked he's not here.
I'm sure he hasn't popped up yet. I love him. And that's why I like Joe, because me and him differ so much. And again, I feel like it's a regional thing as well. Him being from up north in the Chicago area, and I'm from down south here in Texas. We got different points of view on just about everything. And I know we get each other so heated, but I love it. He's someone that I love being able to have those conversations with, and at the end of it, not hate each other. That we can still fucking, if he was here, I'd shake his hand and still fucking buy him a drink, even no matter what we both disagree with, because he's able to have that conversation, and that's what the world needs. Whether you agree or not, you got to be able to have them.
So sometimes you want to kick him in the butt, but then again, he's just doing this to spark an interest.
Yeah. And he, I like that Joe does it, and like I said, he's for the conversation. Unlike like some cats spark the drama and leave, or spark the drama and hear none of it and just like to keep it going. Joe's actually interested, in my opinion, though. I don't know for a fact, but in my opinion, he's actually interested in the conversation, not the drama.
Yeah. Or some people will start the conversation, and if you say something they don't like, they time your ass out.
Yeah.
Well, if you didn't like the way the conversation was going, why did you enhance it, then time people out because you didn't agree with what they were saying?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm not subscribed to a lot of people who do too many panels, though. I know you, Kenny, Rig, but his like he does the fucking the breakdown and then
Think Tank.
So it's a little different, but I don't really do like the other channels that do like that's what they do, panels all the time. Because one, I don't like most of the people in the rooms and channels, so I don't give them support. And two, it's just all drama. And when you live in drama, it becomes your reality. When you live in that negativity, it becomes your reality. And I can't have that energy. I need to stay positive. I need to stay forward moving, better myself, better those around me. I don't want that shit to hold me down. And y'all shouldn't either. Like anybody in general, like energy can transfer from one person to another. If you listen to that shit too long, it just brings your whole fucking mood down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should see if you can get up on Steve's Think Tank panels when he has it open.
I'm sure we would love to have you.
I might have to drop a bug in Steve's ear to get you up on panel, Steve.
Hey, Steve. Steve. It seems like they're still having this discussion on whether or not you have the right to go. The cop has the right to go into the home during there's a domestic violence call from a neighbor. They do, in I believe most states, depending on what state you're in. That again goes to the laws. So you would have to look up the law in your area. I think here in Alaska they are allowed to.
I believe here in Texas they are as well.
I believe in Pennsylvania they're allowed.
And to me, I feel I'm 50-50 on that topic. I feel like if there's a call and they get to the house and there's any sign of a domestic dispute, definitely. But I feel like if they get there and they knock on the door and let's say the husband responds or the wife responds and everything seems appropriate, I don't feel like they should. But that's in my lieu of my rights. But then I think of safety. What if I beat her to make her feel like you better act right, bitch, while the cops are here? And then they leave, so that's a fine line. Wow, that's a good one.
I think they have the right to lay eyes on all parties in the home, and okay.
I'm for it. In all honesty, I feel like in that situation, because like I said, my mom is a domestic abuse survivor. That the way it finally took my father putting a gun to her head one night and threatening to pull the trigger. That night he went to work, we packed up and left. So I mean, coming from a family of that and my sister being in that situation as well, I say let the cops kick that fucking door in. I don't give a shit. Deal with the consequences later. I'd rather know that woman is safe than to fucking argue semantics over my Fourth Amendment right now. Or whatever amendment, like whichever, like I can't even offhand, but I want to say fourth, but make sure that woman is safe.
Well, woman, child, man, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Make sure the human is safe, because that's the other thing is women do beat on men. Let's make that clear. They do. And some of these women are crafty women in the way that they hide it. And then men feel so bad about even saying anything because they're like, well, shit, I'm a dude. Like, I'm getting my ass beat by a woman.
You're a man. You're right. You're a man. You should be able to take being beat up on like a dog. You're a man. Man can't get abused or sexually assaulted.
Right.
Yet it's been proven that they can.
Yeah, but it's not reported. Because the main excuse that I hear on that is, well, you can't be raped if you're willing. Okay. It's physics, you idiot. Like, your body automatically responds in a certain way.
Yep. And the other response too, like, cause you're right. I've heard that you can't rape the willing because supposedly all men want sex. And then nobody like Oda was saying, no man wants to admit to being beat up by their woman, possibly smaller than them. So they're going to go to work and make excuses. Wait, what happened to your face now? Oh, I was wrestling with the dog. Oh, I was out with the animals. I slipped and fell. Like, as masculine, men won't like to admit that, so they'll hide that as well. So you're right, a woman can get away with beating a man just as easy because they won't report it.
If not easier.
The hardest punch I ever took to the face was from my ex-wife.
Then you got these so-called women that want equal rights, but yet want to be pampered while they're at work. Well, don't you want equal rights? So do equal the work.
Yeah, so that's a whole nother discussion. But that's what the world we live in is. There's groups vying for other groups that really aren't for their best interest. You got, like I said, women's rights movements that are arguing, treat women equal, but I bet in the same breath are treating women like shit and using women for what they can gain. So it's absurd. If everyone just thought like AK said, we're all humans, we're all people. If everyone just had that mentality, there wouldn't need to be a way of, well, we need rights for this group and that group, and we needed this group and that group. Like, no, we're all just fucking people, bro. Let's live.
Well, that's the other thing is if the whole thing with, having to ask somebody's pronouns, it might be a little ridiculous, but you know what? If it stops from an argument, I really don't care.
I agree. Like, Like,
If it makes you happy to be called a certain thing, I will gladly do that because that'll make your day better.
agree, and I agree with that. I just don't like being forced to like, because they're pushing it out with like kids. I don't like that now. They're pushing the physical transformation. Like, I got no problem calling you a pronoun. My mom, for example, she's been married 20 plus years to a woman, and when she first introduced the woman to me, I asked her, "What would you like to be called, mom or dad?" Like, because you're taking the dad role, I'll give you that option. And she asked to be called dad. So my entire life, she's been my dad. My grandson calls her grandpa. Like, we were like, when I hand her, "Oh, here, let's go to grandpa." Like, I refer to her as the male pronoun in every aspect. But she physically knows she's a woman. She won't argue me that, she's a man. Like, that type of, like, that's where I kind of draw the border. But I agree with you. If I got no problem identifying anybody with how they feel, it's your choice as a person.
Yep, but she doesn't force you to say, "You must call me this."
No, she never said, "Call me dad. You have to call me dad." Like, I optioned it to her, and it went from there. Like, my daughter, we call her Uncle Ham to my grandson, even though when he grows up, he's gonna know she's a female, she's a woman, that there's differences between them, but that's his uncle.
Yep.
See, that's beautiful.
Holy shit, Mars is actually having an intelligent conversation.
Mars is capable of doing that.
Some days I wonder.
I don't even know what they're talking about in there. Maybe I should get my other phone out.
Well, I'm thinking about closing it. We've been up for 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
Or 2 hours. No, I like the panels where everybody can talk and have a conversation and not get all up in people's ass over fucking words.
Might I ask the older sir, like I said, because I just clicked on and seen my video. I got out the shower and seen you were live, got dressed and sat down and clicked it on and seen you were towards the end of the video. What enticed you to play it?
Just to have a conversation going. They were talking about the furry situation of her harassing the church people, and I wanted to show 2 different auditors or activists how they do.
Oh, that's what's up.
So he wanted to show a good example of a good one, a decent interaction.
Appreciate it. Like, man, and I'm thankful, older sir. Like, I remember when you first were first coming around, people thought of you as a troll and all that, and from the jump, I don't know why, like, you haven't lumped me in that category, and you've been like this. I've been one of the people you go to as an example and things like that, and I appreciate it, man. I really do. And it's and that's also one of the reasons I still try to do better, in all honesty, because you go out of your way to do things like that. I feel like I should go out of my way to continue to grow and make the content better.
Well, hell, even Joe Cool had a great interaction with the officer when he finally went up to the officer as a man and treated the officer as a man and a human being, and they had a great interaction. And you could tell on Joe's posture and the way he was talking, it hit his heart.
That's what's up.
And that's how life should be. It should be people talking to each other as human beings and getting along and have a disagreement and just get along afterwards.
Well, it's fair to say sometimes we're not all going to get along, okay? But there's still this human decency that needs to happen. And I think I know what video you're talking about, Odin, and it was a very good video, and you could see it. Like, you could see how this interaction was visibly touching his soul. You could see it change.
I can play it for everybody as soon as I find it again.
That's cool, man. Because that's what I'm out for. Like, when I first started, I'll be honest, it was the thrill of giving the cops back what they've been giving me for years. But like, I started getting feedback and looking at it, and and seeing myself looking like an ass and seeing that I had to be better than that. I gotta bridge this gap rather than fucking continue the divide. And it's because, like I said, old people like you, Teresa, and all y'all, like, y'all help steer me away from being one of these YouTubers out from clicks and views, you know, because not like y'all put shit out there, but like y'all got no problem saying how it is and shit like that, and it makes you second guess acting and putting on a role and lying and shit like that. So, man, thank y'all.
This is the video I'm talking about. They can play it for us.
How you doing, officer? How are you? Little Naz, I think I met.
How you doing, Joe? How are you, buddy? How's everything? Everything good? Yeah.
Everything is good.
Okay. How can I help you today, Joe?
Naz, I've been out here dealing with the police, communicating with them a long time. We formed a bond, and we fought a horrible parking on the sidewalk. I think this is going to cause some strife. Would you please not park here on the sidewalk?
Joe, you know what? Thank you for approaching me. That was very, I appreciate you being sharing your truth with me. You know what? I don't want to trigger you, and I war. I don't like war. I don't want to go to war with anybody. And your request is very reasonable. But you know what? I am going to move, Joe. But I have to let you know the only reason I'm parked over here because I want everybody to know that I'm here.
I understand that.
But I am going to move.
I do these cats every day.
You know what? You're a gentleman and a scholar, and the way you approach me, I'm very respectful.
Thank you for that.
I am going to move, okay?
Right, man. Love you, baby.
You know what? Love right back at you.
All right.
There you go. How's that?
It's just fucking incredible. Shit. Hey, man, I would try that. I would seriously try that nicely every time through the gate, bro.
Very good. Instead of like,
yes, I was hot today. I can't lie.
Taxes. You're breaking the law. You know what? Okay, you can see. You can get what's that saying? You can get more flies with
honey than vinegar.
Vinegar. Okay. Yeah. All right, Joe. You know what? It's cold out here. Please, man. I'm not afraid to say this.
Yeah.
Tell your followers you have some great followers.
I do, yeah.
We love you.
Yeah.
Chicago Police Officers, we love our community.
Right,
thank
man.
you for carrying.
You certainly do.
Okay.
You got more fucking comments. I believe that guy.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there. Yeah, that video, you can see Joe's true intent and see his heart. All right, everybody, I'm going to sign off. You all have a good day. And remember, treat everybody like you want to be treated. Let's go ahead, Slacker.
Shit. Mike's up.
Oops, you're good.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't get my mic to unmute. Fuck. No, I appreciate you having me on, Odin, sir. AK, man. Bird, it was good chopping it up. I don't know if you're listening. Shit, everyone have a great day, man. Y'all know me. Stay blessed. Be the change you want to see. That's it, man. The only thing you can try to do is be better than you were yesterday.
Amen. AK?
I'll leave you guys with a smile. Hold on.
That's not a smile. That's a sailor.
I know. I suck. It's just been that day.
Have a good one, AK. Have a good one, Slacker.
You too, sir.
You all have a good day. Remember the words of the wise.